So in this video, we're going to be talking about EDMs and leveling and some of the calculations that go along with that. So first of all, EDM stands for electronic distance measurement. So it's a device that can measure distances and angles. And so mainly what you're going to be asked to do in regards to EDMs and calculations is you're going to be asked to find horizontal distances, which is going to be this distance here, because your EDM will give you this slope distance. And a vertical angle, which you can call theta or alpha or whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, as I said, this is going to be your horizontal distance, which you're trying to find. One thing about angles is when you have some horizontal horizon there and you're measuring from that counterclockwise, that's going to be your vertical angle. Sometimes, though, angles are called out as zenith angles, which is going to be from your north and then going clockwise around. So that's going to be your zenith angle. So if you're out measuring with an EDM and you find a slope distance of 1,000 feet and a vertical angle of 20 degrees, and you want to find your horizontal distance, the best thing you can do to start out is going to be to draw a diagram to help you visualize what is actually going on. So we know that if we start over here with our EDM, we're measuring some slope distance of 1,000 feet, and it has a vertical angle of 20 degrees. So again, you're going to go from this horizontal going counterclockwise, and that's going to be 20 degrees right there. And of course, you can make a right triangle out of this. And so now it's just simple trig, which we went over in the previous videos. So we know that we're looking for this here, which is your adjacent side to that angle. So if we know our adjacent and hypotenuse, then we want to use cosine of our angle, which is going to be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 20 degrees equals h over 1,000 feet. You multiply both sides by 1,000. These will cancel, so you'll be left with h equals 1,000 feet times the cosine of 20 degrees. And you can just plug that into your calculator. So h is going to be equal to 939.7 feet. Now, if you're given a zenith angle instead of a slope angle, you're going to end up with something like this. So again, we'll have our slope distance, which is abbreviated as S, equal to 1,000 feet. But now we're given a zenith angle equal to, let's do 97 degrees. And yeah, we're trying to find our horizontal distance, H. So again, you're going to start with a picture. So with our zenith angle, we need our north line. And we're going to come down 97 degrees. So oops. So we'll call that 97 degrees. And we have the slope distance of 1,000 feet, and we're trying to find our horizontal distance, H. So in this case, we have this angle here, but we need to know either this angle or this angle in order to find our H. So we know that along a straight line, that's 180 degrees. So we'll call that alpha, this theta. So in order to find alpha, it's going to be 180 degrees minus that zenith angle. So 180 minus 97 equals 83 degrees. So from there, you can just use trig using this angle now to find your H, or if you're more comfortable, you can find your theta, because we know that in a triangle, all the angles have to add up to be 180 degrees. Then you can just subtract your 90 degrees because this here is a right angle, and then subtract your alpha of 83 degrees. So you'll get that theta equals 7 degrees. So now that we have theta, you can use the same process we used up here. So you can use your cosine. So it's going to be 1,000 feet times the cosine of 7 degrees. Or same thing, if you want to skip this step here, you can go ahead and just use this angle here. Now we want to know our opposite, but we have our hypotenuse, so it's going to be sine. So sine alpha equals opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 83 degrees equals H over 1,000. So 1,000 sine 83 equals 992.5 feet. And if we come back up to here, we can run the calculation for that as well. 1,000 cosine 7 equals 992.5 feet. And as you can see, they're the same, so it doesn't matter which way you decide to do that. Now, another thing that you might be given are a slope distance and an elevation difference. And again, they want you to find your horizontal distance. So there's a couple different things you can do for this. The first method that you can use is our alignment correction that we learned in the previous video. Or you can use Pythagorean theorem. In both cases, it's going to give you relatively the same answer. They're going to be a little bit different. Maybe often like the thousandth they'll be different, but for the most part, it's going to give you the same answer. But just pay attention because your instructor might have a particular way that they want you to do it, so just do it the way that they want you to do it. But if we had an example here where we have a slope distance of 1,000 feet and an elevation difference of 25 feet, and they want you to find this horizontal distance here, h. If we use our first method, then we know that our correction for alignment is equal to negative v squared over 2s. So for us, negative v is going to be that change in elevation, so 25 squared all over 2 times 1,000. So we're going to end up with a negative 0.3125 feet. And so then to get your horizontal distance, it's going to be your slope distance plus your correction for alignment. So 1,000 feet plus a negative 0.3125 feet. And so we'll get h equal to 999.688 feet. Now, if you want to do it using Pythagorean theorem, we all know that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the two sides of the triangle that make up your right angle, and c is your hypotenuse. So we're going to have h squared plus 25 squared equals 1,000 squared. So h is going to equal the square root of 1,000 squared minus 25 squared. And h is going to equal, if you plug that into your calculator, you're going to end up with 999.687 feet. So like I said, they're a little bit different, but it gets you pretty much the same thing. It's 999.7 feet, either way you look at it. But since it's surveying, more likely than not, your teacher's going to want you to do it this way. Just know you can check your answer using that method as well. If you have any questions about EDMs and leveling and how to do their calculations, feel free to head over to our homework help page, and we'll be able to get you specific homework help there, or head over to our tutoring page and schedule an appointment, and we'll be able to sit down and walk through one of these together.